I'm out today in a local marshy wetland type area, and I'm getting ready to hopefully photograph a new species of duck this week. Doing all the prep work today. The duck that I'm after is a green-winged teal. It's a duck I've never photographed before. I've never spent time observing before. And so I'm excited to hopefully, fingers crossed, be able to photograph it here this week. The last time I set out to photograph a new species of duck, it was with the golden-eyed ducks last winter. And the way that I did that is going to be a little bit different than what I'm going to have to do with these green-winged teals. Those golden-eyed ducks, I was able to use a floating blind that I made that kind of just floats in the water, and I was able to photograph them with that. I'm going to have to amend my plan. It's not going to work with these ducks. I'll explain why in a little bit, but for now I'm going to keep going. I'm looking for something very specific to photograph these ducks, and I'll let you know what it is when I find it. So as I mentioned before, my plan to photograph these green-winged teals is going to have to be a little bit different than the golden-eyed ducks. Those golden-eyed ducks, the water where they were hanging out was deep enough where I could use my floating blind. That blind is designed for me to stand in the middle and walk along this water here where these green-winged teals have been hanging out. It's just a couple inches deep. Obviously I can't walk in just a couple inches of water, so my plan, what I'm going to do is I've got all of these reeds and cattails, and the water's here just 15 or so feet away. So my plan is to make a natural blind out of these reeds and cattails to be able to get in early in the morning, sit in there, have all my camera stuff in there, and be able to photograph the ducks just outside. So what I found, what exactly I was looking for, is kind of this hollowed out spot here. Let me show you. As you can see, there's just kind of this naturally hollowed out spot right here in the middle. That's enough room for me to sit. And then I've got cattails in the front and then the water just beyond. So what I'm going to do is gather up some of these reeds and cattails that are on the ground that have fallen and died, and I'm just going to build a little roof right over this and then stick my camera lens through the existing cattails and reeds in the front there. And sorry, there's some geese squabbling over here. Yeah, I'm going to stick my camera lens just through the existing cattails in the front and just have that be my blind. I've used these before, I've built them before, and used them before on various species. I've used them on river otters, great blue herons, just all sorts of different animals, and they work incredibly well. So I'm going to put that together now, and I'll show you the end result here in just a couple minutes. They don't take too long to put together, 15-20 minutes maybe. And there's some really good spots around here, so I'm probably going to build a few of them just so I can use them when I need. And when I build these, I don't like to destroy any of the actual vegetation. I'll just pick up the dead stuff and kind of use these existing hollow spots and put them together that way. So they're incredibly effective. I'm going to put some together now and we'll go from there. All right. So this is pretty much it. I mean, it doesn't look like much, but that's the point. You don't want it to look like much. You just want it to look like vegetation. So I've got my roof just back here, and then I've got this little hole that I'll be able to shoot out of. I've got the water right back here, and this is where I've been seeing the ducks kind of congregate in the morning. So I've actually made a couple of these around in different locations. I'll try a couple of the different ones out depending on where the ducks move. But this is pretty much it. Tomorrow, when I've got my camera in there, I'll show you what it looks like in the inside when I've got my tripod and my camera and all that stuff set up in there. I'll show you kind of the inside view of how it is. But that's really it. You know, get a roof on there, get some cattails or something, put them over the top, and then just lay some reeds down on top of that. When the ducks fly by in the morning, you don't want them to be able to see you. So it's important that you cover yourself from all angles. And you just need a little spot for your camera to stick out. I'm going to push a little bit of these aside a little bit more, make sure I got a clear view here to the water. But other than that, that is it. So I'm excited to try it out on these green-winged teals, and fingers crossed, I'm hoping to get some pictures of them. Okay, we will see you tomorrow morning. What an amazing morning I just had. This was so much fun. I'm so glad that I did this. I'll be honest, I almost didn't come out this morning. The lazy side almost took over, and when my alarm went off at 5 o'clock and it was raining and it was cold, I almost didn't come out. But I am so glad that I did, because this was just so much fun. Like I showed before when I was making this temporary blind yesterday, I just made it out of the natural vegetation, which can be the best camouflage that you can use. And it paid off, because the birds, I mean, the water is just, you know, a couple feet away, and the birds were right there. They didn't even know that I was here. And occasionally they would see, you know, the lens hood sticking out of the reeds and see it move just a little bit, but they would just go right back to what they were doing. They didn't care. They weren't scared of it or anything, and that's pretty normal. But yeah, like I mentioned, this was just an awesome experience. Kind of like I showed you yesterday when I put this together. I showed you the outside. Let me show you the inside now, kind of what it looks like from my point of view. So I've got room here to sit. I'm sitting in the soggy, wet ground, which is fine. I've got my waders on. But as you can see, kind of got this little roof above me. And then let me show you the front. So this is what it looks like from my point of view. I've got my camera sticking out. I've got a camo rain cover on it, again, because it was raining this morning. And then I've just got these little holes that I can see out of and see the water out there with the ducks. So this is my point of view in here. Yeah, just like I had mentioned, awesome morning. This is a new species for me. This is why I'm out here to do this. I wasn't able to get a ton of pictures just because it was so overcast. The sun's finally come out now, but the birds are gone. But that's fine. Just an amazing experience, and I'll most likely be back out tomorrow. The sun's supposed to be better, and there's not supposed to be so much wind like there is today. So yeah, should be better. I love anytime I can photograph a new species, whether it's a bird or a mammal or, you know, whatever it is. I just love being able to photograph and observe new species that I've never been able to before. And just being able to watch them and learn their habits and their mannerisms, you know, different things like that. It was so fun just watching these green-winged teals this morning, and there were some widgeons that came through, and you know, other types of birds, and just to be able to watch them, so much fun. I'm gonna go now though. I've been in here, like I said, since just after 5 this morning, and it's still cold. I am freezing cold, and I'm hungry. And I've got to go potty, so I'm gonna go. Okay, we'll see ya. Another fantastic morning. This is my second morning in a row coming out here. Another early morning for me, but you know, it paid off. It's been such a fun day today. No rain today, no wind, no crazy overcast skies like I had yesterday. just some beautiful morning light to work with, and these awesome birds to be out here with. I didn't get as many green-winged teals coming through this morning, but I did get some other birds coming through. I believe they're cinnamon teals. I'll have to double check that. And some widgeons. I could be butchering that name. I apologize. I'm no duck expert, but I believe it's pronounced widgeons. Yeah, it was fun to get some pictures and a little bit of video of those guys. It's just been a fun morning. Had some red-winged blackbirds behind me calling for a while. Those are always fun to hear. So it's just been incredibly fun. These natural blinds, like I've talked about and showed, as I mentioned yesterday, this can be the best camouflage that you can use, and they've worked incredibly well for me. I have a lot of fun in them. I've used them for various species, both birds and mammals, and they work phenomenally. When I make these, though, I want to specify, when I make these blinds, I don't like destroying any of the vegetation to do so. If I have to, cut a tree or, stuff like that, I'm not going to do it. I like to use the material that's already dead and on the ground to do so. And with these reeds, like I was saying before, they can be tricky to find, but you can find these little natural pockets like I'm in right now. I found this little natural pocket, and so I didn't have to, break any of the stuff to get in here. And then to make the roof and to kind of increase the thickness of the sides, I found some of the reeds that had already died and were on the ground, or had fallen, on top already, and I just kind of grabbed those and kind of wove them together. So that's the best kind of blind, in my opinion, is one that you don't have to destroy or kill any nature buildings. So it's been a lot of fun out here. Ducks have moved off. So I'm going to call it a day. It's been so much fun being out here the last 2 mornings, and I'll probably be back out here soon. But yeah, for now I'm going to call it a day, and I look forward to putting another video out next week, and we will see you then.